Dear students, welcome back to our drama class. Last day we saw how Antonio was getting ready to face a trial. Meanwhile, Bassanio, his friend, tries to console Antonio, saying that he will sacrifice himself. He will give his flesh, his bones, and his entire body, even before a drop of blood is shed from Antonio's body. Antonio politely denies that, saying that he is a tainted brother of the flock. I am a tainted brother of the flock. So I am the sick ram of the head of sheep, and I am the weakest fruit. Therefore I must fall first, and you should stay on. You must live on in order to write my epitaph. Epitaph is the inscription on the grave of someone. After burying somebody, on the stone which is covering your dead body, you write something, beautiful things. So you must remain and write a beautiful thing about me. What do you think of me? You should live on, I must die. That's where we stopped. We'll take off from there. Enter Nerissa, dressed like a lawyer's clerk. You remember, just before this particular conversation between Bassanio and Antonio, the Duke had asked whether somebody had come from Bellario. Unless Dr. Bellario comes, he wants to dismiss the court. Then he is told that there is somebody waiting already. He has just come from Padua from Dr. Bellario. So Duke asks some people to go and call the messenger. So meanwhile the conversation has taken place. Now we are again back to the scene. Enter Nerissa, dressed like a lawyer's clerk. So the Nerissa is a messenger, but she is dressed like a lawyer's clerk, not as a Nerissa, like a boy. Duke, came you from Padua, from Bellario? Have you come from Padua? Padua is a place of Dr. Bellario. Have you come from Padua and from Bellario? That is from Dr. Bellario. Nerissa, from both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace. So from both means, yes, I have come from Padua and I have come from Dr. Bellario. And then the clerk says, Dr. Bellario sends his greetings to you. Bassanio, by dost thou, so from both, then he presents a letter. The clerk presents a letter to the Duke. Meanwhile, there is one more conversation between Bassanio and Shylock. Bassanio says, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? W-H-E-T, whet. W-H-E-T. Whet is sharpen. So Bassanio is asking, meanwhile Shylock is busy sharpening his knife. If you happen to go to a barber shop, barber saloon, these days you have all modern saloons. Olden days, when you were very small, you were small children, you must have seen, the barber sharpens his knife on a piece of leather, something like your belt, like a belt, it will be hanging there, and he will be sharpening the knife on the leather. So Shylock is busy sharpening his knife. So Bassanio asks, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? So earnestly means with a lot of enthusiasm and interest. Why do you keep on sharpening it? Shylock, to cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there. Meaning of bankrupt is one who has lost everything. One who has lost all his money. So Antonio is bankrupt because all his ships have been wrecked. to cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there. Forfeiture here, you know, forfeiture is a penalty. What is a penalty? A pound of flesh. Therefore, to cut the pound of flesh from that bankrupt there. Graciano. Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. It's very important. See, not on thy soul, but on thy soul. S-O-L-E, soul, is leather. I told you already that a leather, something like the form of a belt, on that they sharpen the knife. The butcher or those who are using knife, they sharpen the knife on the sole. S-O-L-E, sole means the leather. You have the sole of your foot, you have sole of a shoe. So that is the leather. S-O-U-L, soul is the spirit within you, Atma. So is playing on the word. Graciano is playing on the word and he says, not on thy soul, but on thy soul. That is, you are sharpening your knife not on the soul, S-O-L-E, soul, but on the S-O-U-L, soul. So you are not sharpening your knife on the leather. You are sharpening your knife on your heart. So you are sharpening it on your heart. Keen means sharp. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Normally the criminals were put to death by hanging. Put to death by hanging. Whereas political prisoners and men of great dignity, when they are sentenced to death, instead of being hanged, they used to behead them, cut their throat with a sharp axe, so that they will die fast, and it is considered as dignified, more dignified than being hanged. To somebody to die, to kill somebody by hanging was considered very shameful, only for criminals. So these people, though they were criminals, but they were of higher rank, so their heads were cut with the help of an axe. So now Graciano says that that axe is supposed to be very sharp and so the person will die fast. He says the heart of Shylock is sharper than that of envy. Envy is what? E-N-V-Y. Envy is jealousy. Your sharp envy. So the envy of Shylock, that is, the jealousy of Shylock is sharper than that of the axe. So now there are three things. One is a normal knife, that which Shylock is sharpening. Another one is the axe, which is used to kill political prisoners, etc. And the third one is the sharpness of the envy, sharpness of jealousy. Three things are there. So where is the sharpness of the envy? Where is jealousy seated? What is the seat of jealousy? Is it here or here? It is in heart. Heart is the seat of jealousy. Therefore, your heart is sharper than all these. So the jealousy or the envy that is born in Shylock's heart is the sharpest one of all the weapons. That's what Graciano is saying. Can no prayers pierce thee? Can no prayers pierce thee? Pierce through means to make an entry, make a hole. So, pierce the soul means to make the soul kind enough, make the soul concerned. So, can there be any prayers? Can no prayers pierce thee means, is there any prayer that can penetrate your heart? Is there any prayer that can penetrate your heart? Any pleading that can penetrate your heart? Shylock, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. Wit enough here is a high intelligence. So your intelligence is not sufficient to make a plea and sharpen or open up my heart. But nothing will work. Shylock says, nothing is going to work. Nothing can change my heart. Graciano. Oh, be thou damned, inescrutable dog. Inescrutable meaning is given there. One who cannot be insulted and cursed enough. That is, somebody is cursing. Somebody is cursing. So, whatever curses you are pronouncing against Shylock is not worried. He is not worried at all. Nothing will happen. What is that? He doesn't mind at all. So, he doesn't mind at all. So, be thou damned inexcreable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras, that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. Thy courage spirit governed a wolf who hanged for human slaughter. Even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet, and whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee. For thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. So he is pronouncing, Graciano is pronouncing a terrible curse-like thing. He finds fault with him and uses very, very strong language. Very strong language. So he says, I am forced to believe the theory proposed by Pythagoras. So Pythagoras was a Greek philosopher. He believed that souls infuse human bodies. Infuse means enter into. We also have the belief in India. Hindus believe in rebirth. That human souls will enter animals and live, and animals can enter again human souls. That is, you will be born as a dog or a cat or a tiger, whatever it may be, near a nest birth, and after that it can again be born as a human being. So the belief that souls can infuse human bodies, souls can enter into human bodies, that was a belief of Pythagoras. So Graciano says, now I am forced to believe in that, believe in what Pythagoras said, that animal souls can enter human body. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith. That means waver means unsteady. So far he did not believe. Now he is made to believe, to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men. That is the belief of Pythagoras. Souls of animals can enter into human body. Now I am forced to believe. Why? Into thy courage spirit. Here courage means the spiteful dog. Spiteful. Spiteful means a dog to be blamed, a dog to be mocked at. That is spiteful. Spite somebody means to scold somebody, find fault with somebody. So thy courage spirit governed a wolf. Governed means inhabited, a wolf who hanged for human slaughter. Even from the gallows did his fell soul fleet. Fell soul means cruel soul. Fleet means speed away. And whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, unhallowed is unholy, dam is mother, infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. I will explain to you what Graciano is trying to say is that there was a wolf. You know what is an wolf? Is an animal which kills human beings and other small beings. There was an wolf who used to kill human beings. So the wolf was condemned to death. For what? For killing human beings. For slaughtering human beings. What was the death? What was the punishment given to the wolf? He will be hanged till it dies. He will be hanged till he dies. So the wolf was condemned to death, and the people concerned, they hanged him. So just as it hanged and it dies, immediately the soul of the wolf ran from the gallows. Gallows is a place where you are put to death. You have seen Patriot. Patriot is being led to the gallows. So from the gallows, the soul runs down and runs to the mother of Shylock. And Shylock was inside the mother's womb. That means Shylock's mother was pregnant and Shylock was in the womb of his mother. So the soul of the wolf from the gallows rushes and enters into the body of Shylock's mother. And naturally, Shylock is inside and he enters Shylock. And from then onwards, the spirit of the wolf is living in Shylock. Why does Graciano say this? Because Shylock has all the qualities of a wolf. Wolfish qualities. Understood, no? So wolf is being condemned to death by hanging because it was killing human beings. The moment it is hanged, the soul rushes and enters the body of Shylock's mother, and Shylock was in the womb of his mother and naturally enters the body of Shylock. And it went on to live in Shylock. Graciano concludes this because Shylock has every quality of the wolf. You are wolfish, bloody, starved and ravenous. You are like a wolf, the qualities of a wolf. Ravenous means hungry. Hungry for blood. You are hungry for blood. You want to cut the flesh of Antonio. You are hungry for flesh because you want to cut off a pound of flesh. You want to eat maybe. So he is hungry for blood, hungry for flesh. And he is very revengeful, very cruel. So all the qualities of a wolf are present in Shylock. So Shylock replies. See, very, very powerful curses, powerful accusations by Graciano, but Shylock is least bothered. Nothing can penetrate his heart. He is not affected at all. He says, till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. So what did Shylock say? Was he sad that Graciano scolded him in such a manner? No. Is he affected? Does he feel pity? Nothing. He says, till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond. As long as you don't take the bond away from me. As long as you don't break the seal of the bond. That is, as long as you don't deny justice to me, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud. You are only hurting your throat. Only if you say, no, the bond will not be executed. You cannot have a pound of flesh. Suppose you say that, then I will be offended. Other than whatever you say, I am not going to be offended. You are offending your throat. That means harming. You are destroying your own throat. Because you are shouting too much. If you shout like that, it will be harmful to your throat, not to me. I am not worried. Offendest thy lungs to speak so loud, repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. Repair thy wit means your intelligence is not sufficient. Correct it. You are thinking that by shouting you are going to change me. No, that will not happen. I will not be changed. I will not be affected. So change your policy and it will fall to cureless ruin. If you are not going to change and going to shout, it will be a cureless destruction. Your throat will be completely destroyed. I stand here for law. What I want is law. What I want is what is lawfully I should get, you should give me. What is lawfully Shylock is required to get? the execution of bond, and as a result, a pound of flesh. Shylock should be allowed to cut a pound of flesh from any part of the body of Antonio. That he should give me. If you are going to deny that, I will be very angry. But if you go on cursing me, you are saying I am like an wolf. A wolf must have infused my body. Whatever you say, I am not bothered, provided you allow me to cut the flesh. So we'll stop here for today. Thank you.